quickly did you go from this is going to be okay to we're at war?
When you hear that sound.
The booms.
Yeah.
Kids today, right? They have a lot to deal with. First of all, they're always looking at their devices. They've just come through 2 years of a pandemic. There's increasing polarizing differences in the US right now. On top of all of that, Russia invades Ukraine. And now we have to start speaking to our children about war and the possibility of even a global war. I'm Jane Stevenson. I'm here with our life editor, Rita DeMontis, to talk about this very sensitive subject. Hi, Rita. Let us know basically what and how we should talk to our children. First of all, how do we start this conversation?
I think we take the lead from the kids. They are so aware of what is happening. I think that's key. Parents may think that maybe their kids are not tuning in, but they are. And they're on social media a lot harder than their parents. And they're seeing things. There are graphic visuals online, and they want to know what's going on. They're frightened, and they want to know if they are safe.
How old should a child be before you broach the subject, do you think?
Well, actually, young is good, but every age group has a certain criteria attached to it. So if you're like 3 or 4 years old and you're saying, Mommy, are they going to be bombing? And they have said this. It's how a parent approaches this. It's all about reassurance and taking, cues from the children themselves. You'll find kids may not vocalize their fear, but they will show it. And you may find kids having nightmares. They may wet their beds. They kind of close themselves in. They'll be off their food. Parents have to clue in immediately and open up dialogue. It's so crucial here to talk to your children.
So you're basically saying it's not really age, it's more about telltale signs.
Well, it's telltale signs, and also opening it up to children themselves, and just saying, you may be watching the news together, or you see something, your kids, their tablet has something, and that's your opportunity, your cue to say, what are you watching? How do you feel about it? Put it out to the children themselves and say, what do you think? And if a child says, I'm really scared, Mom, are they going to be bombing our home? That's your cue to say, no. But it's important and it's diligent for the parents as well as their children's well-being to open up the dialogue and say, let's talk about what's scaring you so much. But at the same time, not sugarcoating it as well. I mean, the reality is they've gone through a pandemic. The different age groups have gone through their own crisis. I mean, in the early 60s, kids in grade 2 were understanding the Cuban Missile Crisis. And, at that early age, many people were impacted. And that was the start of things like anxiety disorder, because you carry it with you. Unless it's like a wound, you have to kind of clean it out and talk about it. And the same applies to any child.
So fast forwarding to 2022, video games are very prevalent. Do things like that have an impact on how kids perceive war? Are they desensitized in some way?
Well, yes and no. Kids are smart. They're a heck of a lot smarter than you think. And a lot of them realize and appreciate the fact that this is a game. And sometimes, they can be desensitized. But at the same time, reality is what they're catching off the games. So we got to give kids credit for a lot more than we do. And it's not one-dimensional. It is three-dimensional. Ultimately, the end of the game, at the end of the day, is you want to assure your children that they're safe. And now more than ever, it's really hitting home. I mean, anyone who lived through 9/11 is totally aware of this, because at one point, everybody thought they were World War III. Now, kids today are hearing, are we going to have World War III? Who is the boogeyman here? And it's all about assuring kids, because you're setting them up so that they are not going to be impacted later on, that you are giving them the tools to be strong and appreciate that this too shall pass.
Thanks so much, Rita, for your insight on this very important issue. Let us know what you think on Twitter and Facebook, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel below.